Today's video is going to be about a couple of really spooky experiences that I had at an ex-boyfriend's house when I lived in Utah. If you're new here, my name is Tiffany, and this is my new YouTube channel called Growing Up Shaman, where I tell true stories about non-ordinary reality from the perspective of a shaman. So this story, I want to say was like in the early 2000s, because I want to say I was like in my late 20s when this happened. And I was dating this guy, and he lived by himself in this house. It was a decent sized house, like 3 bedrooms. And he only had like one bedroom that he was using. And this bedroom was the room where the majority of the experiences occurred. So this one night, we were laying in bed, and suddenly we could hear some scratching. Like it sounded like an animal was stuck inside the wall and it was scratching, trying to come out. And so we're kind of looking around in the bedroom trying to figure out where this sound is coming from. And we notice it seems like it's coming from the corner of the room. And above that corner of the room, where my boyfriend had this like flag that was hanging from one wall to the other, like catty corner. Um, and we could see that this flag was moving, or it appeared to be moving. It looked like it had this wavy appearance to it. And at the same time, we're hearing this scratching on the walls. And so my boyfriend decides he's going to peek behind that flag to see if there's anything back there. And as soon as he touches that flag, he actually screams and pulls it off the wall and just throws it in the middle of the room and goes, "Don't touch that, don't touch that." And me, being me, of course, had to go and touch it. So I actually went and grabbed it and just kind of threw it real quick. And I was like, "What?" I didn't notice anything weird about the flag. And he was like, "I don't know, something just ran through my body. It felt like energy." And I was like, "Okay." So we're both sitting on the bed, just kind of looking around, trying to figure out what's going on, because we're still hearing that scratching noise, and he's deathly afraid of this flag that he just threw in the middle of the room. I don't see anything wrong with the flag. And then, but we can tell that suddenly it's super cold in the room, like we could see our breath. And so I said to him, I was like, "Why do you have the AC on? It's like freezing outside." And he goes, "I don't have the AC on." I was like, "Are you sure? Because it is cold in here." I was like, "Why don't you go check the thermostat and see what it's on?" So he goes into the living room and leaves me in this room by myself, and while it's freezing. And so while I'm in there by myself, I decide to ask the spirit, "What do you want?" And immediately it tells me in my mind, "For you to know that I'm here." And I was shocked that I got an answer. So shocked that I was just like, "Well, I'm not going to talk to you anymore if you're going to be answering my questions. And at this moment, my boyfriend, he walks back into the room and he's like, "The temperature is normal out there. It's just this room that's cold." And I was like, "Well, that's weird." I was like, "Why don't you get into bed with me and get under the blankets? We'll warm up that way." And so he's laying on the bed, and I'm kind of closer towards his waist, and I'm just like, we're both looking towards that corner of the room that's still making that noise. There's no longer a flag up in that corner, and we're just kind of wondering what is going on, because we're spooked. And then suddenly, right in between us, I can hear what sounds like a and my boyfriend just jumps out of bed immediately. He was like, "Was that you?" And I was like, "No." He was like, "You better not be fucking with me, Tiffany. Was that you?" And I'm like, "No, it wasn't me. Like, get back in bed. I'm scared. It was clear that, he heard just what I heard, and it was quite terrifying. But I think making that noise took all of its energy, because afterwards the temperature kind of got back to normal, and the sounds in the corner of the wall, they stopped, and it seemed like everything was back to normal. But I ended up having quite a number of experiences at that house, and it got to the point where I just didn't want to be staying over there anymore. And this was before I met my shamanic teacher. This was before I realized what I was, and I was having lots of experiences, but not really having a way to express it or understand it. And so that was an interesting house. I remember one night when I was staying there, waking up, and the bed was pushed up against the side of the wall, and I was sleeping on the side of the bed that was closest to the wall. And yet one night I felt like someone was sitting on the side of the bed that was up against the wall. Like I felt the bed have an indentation. And but it didn't make sense because someone's legs would have to be in the wall in order for that to happen. And but yeah, that was weird. And then I remember another night waking up and seeing writing on the wall, like all on the top part of the wall, and it was in some old English handwriting, and I didn't know what it was trying to say. It looked like it said Sims Birch, but they weren't really English letters like we see them today. So I don't know. That was just the closest thing that I could come up with, that what I recognized. So who knows what that meant? But this spirit, whatever what was in this house, did not like me, and it would activate anytime I would come over to the house. And but whenever I wasn't there, my boyfriend said that nothing would happen at the house. So I don't know what that was about, but I had a lot of experiences in that place in Utah. And so I just wanted to share that story with you guys. I hope you enjoyed it. If you did, don't forget to give the video a like. If you haven't subscribed, don't forget to subscribe and comment if you have had any kind of weird experiences like that. I'd love to hear about it. Anyways, thanks for listening, and I will see you on the next video. Bye.